Britt, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. So since 2019, Senator Britt, since that year, we have 250 elected DSA candidates. We have over 40 on the ballot this year. We see what their platform is. I can read it all to you. I can scroll it if you want. You know, eliminate the Senate. We don't get to choose the president, pack the courts, amnesty for illegals, no borders, end all deportation, abolish ICE, defund the Department of War, eliminate cash bail, abolish prisons, police, wealth tax, Green New Deal, cradle to grave, public ownership of corporations. So my question is, will this, I understand it may be popular in New York, may be popular in Illinois, maybe even popular in California. I don't see it popular with the rest of the country. And I think that's why you see AOC backing off these radical, insane positions. Do you think it will work in the ballot box?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. The Democratic Socialists of America are not the fringe anymore, Sean, of the Democratic Party. They have taken over the Democratic Party. And these policies that you just laid out succinctly are the very policies that they're looking to enact when they hope to get to power. Look, America has to wake up. You just talked about some of these Democrats that have stood up in Michigan and said, hey, El Said is not for us. We do not believe in abolishing prisons and jails and police and ICE and borders and so on and so on. I believe that's just the beginning. I think more and more Democrats are going to stand up and say that is not for us. And the thing is, they have taken over. You saw that not only in Michigan, you saw it in Florida. I mean, you look at now the Democratic candidate for Senate in Florida. There could not be a starker contrast between her and the strong strength of Senator Moody. She has said, the Senate, the Democrat there in Florida, that she believes there's no sexualization when it comes to drag shows. She has said that she took her children. Sean, these people are out of touch with reality. They are wrong on the policies and they're wrong on their priorities. You have Senator Cotton on here, whose actual opponent there in Arkansas has said, look, I'm going to fly down to Peru to be a part of a transgender parade. It is absolute insanity. And so they have taken over. They are driving the narrative. And this is not only bad for the Democratic Party, it's bad for America. And I say, you nailed it earlier. We don't have to ask them. We need to believe what they're saying. And they hate America. They even said we want to use the flag and have used the flag as a napkin. It's pretty disgusting, Sean. And I think, look, the days of your grandfather's Democratic Party, they're over.
You know, they also added to that list that we were scrolling, Senator Cotton praise for Fidel Castro, who murdered thousands and thousands and confiscated land and also created more misery and poverty than any one individual possibly can in any one country. Now, in the next segment, I'm going to talk about what Donald Trump has done since he got reelected, because nobody in the legacy media will ever talk about it. So Republicans, they know that the media is against them. They have to bypass the media. I know they're going to have a convention. How do you balance their talking about their radicalism versus, hey, this is what we did, and that'll all be undone if they get back in?
Well, Sean, I think it's a pretty stark contrast. Obviously, we want to highlight what Katie and I and other Republicans have accomplished over the last year and a half, the biggest tax cut in American history, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, tax cuts for businesses so they can invest more in their workers and in their technology, a big boost for the military, a big boost for immigration enforcement, securing our border. And that's a simple contrast to what these radicals want to do if they take power. They want to defund ICE. They want to open our borders. They want to give amnesty. They want to take your health insurance on the job away and make you go and socialize medicine. As you said, they pointed out over and over on the campaign trail what they believe. Even that liberal media host you played, Sean, tried to give this radical in Florida a chance to walk it back. And she said, no, that's what I believe. It kind of reminded me of a few years ago when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, when we say defund the police, we mean defund the police. And now she's out there saying like, wow, woke one was crazy, wasn't it? And laughing because she realizes it's a political liability. We're going to make sure that the people all across this country understand that this is where what they truly believe. Because if you think woke one was crazy, Woke 2 is going to be much worse if the Democrats win this November.
Well, woke 2 reads to me like communism. I mean, who praises Fidel Castro? But, you know, maybe what is the right balance, Senator Britt, between talking about the accomplishments of President Trump and Republicans versus, you know, exposing this radicalism?
Look, I think we have to absolutely expose it. And I think we've got to drill down on that for the American people. There is a ton at stake here, Sean. And I think that you can also balance that with telling the American people what we've done. You heard Senator Cotton talk about this, but I mean, the largest tax cuts in American history that were delivered by President Trump, the strongest border in history delivered by President Trump, safe streets delivered by President Trump, law and order again delivered by President Trump. So we have so much more that we want to do and accomplish. So we're certainly going to talk about what we have done and what we want to do. But we also have to expose these people for who they are. I mean, they have absolutely lost their mind. And this is not a fringe. This is who the Democratic Party is now. They want to make sure that you can, you know, your transgender surgeries for your children, that you don't have to talk to the parents about it. I mean, that's what these candidates are talking about. They're jihadist sympathizers. We're seeing that there with El Sayed. You're seeing Hassan Piker become the voice and the spokesperson there for the Democratic Party. So I think we have to highlight it because America needs to know what we're up against. And I think this is going to make sure that in November, people turn away from that.
All right, Senator Britt, thank you. Senator Tom Cotton, thank you tonight. We appreciate both of you being here. Also,